Hey y'all, we're Jimmy and Lisa with FindUsCamping.
We're all of a sudden wondering, is it time to upgrade our RV? So a common theme that I think most RVers struggle with is, where do you put all your stuff?
We have a lot of stuff.
Even when you think you don't have a lot of stuff, turns out when you try to condense it into 400 square feet, you got a lot of stuff. We have opted, as most of you probably already know, for a toy hauler. We did that because we have a golf cart, we are looking into e-bikes, we have kayaks, and since it's mostly just us in the RV now, the kids come along occasionally, but pretty much it's just us, we use our garage to haul any or all of those toys. And then once we get where we're going,
it doubles to our office.
Right. So inside though, we still struggle with where to keep things, how to best utilize the space, which
I have somebody perfect that can utilize space.
I am a very good packer. And I'm not above putting something in a cabinet and then deciding this is wrong and rearranging it.
Rearrange and rearrange.
But something that we do, because we're always on that quest for the best way to use your space, is we like to stop at different RV dealerships. And
every dealership,
I mean,
every
it might be a problem. And we try to go to the RV shows. So like we usually go to Hershey, but that was canceled this year.
So, but Tampa was open this year.
Tampa was. So we're going to share with you some of the things we saw and different thoughts we had as we went through the 2021 RV Super Show in Tampa, Florida. We should start by saying COVID is still a big thing, but they did a really good job of trying to keep everyone social distanced. You needed to wear your mask if you were in a
building or in the RVs.
Right.
And when you came out, they actually wiped down the RVs as good as they can, keeping everything pretty clean while we were there.
Yeah, and one family in an RV at a time, so that helps as well. And I don't think there were as many people there this year as had previously been there, so it wasn't as congested, especially when you were outside or in like the I don't know, convention hall's probably not the right word, but where all the vendors were in the buildings that the vendors are in.
But it still felt like you were a little rushed inside the campers, because if you came in and somebody was wanting to come in,
you felt like you needed to
get out. So
we didn't get to,
you didn't get to see it as good as you normally do, but you know how COVID is now.
So we checked out not just Fusions, because that's what we currently have, but we checked out some new brands. We checked out some new products that we'd never even seen before, and some new floor plans. So one of our stops was at the Alliance booth, which some of you may or may not know. Alliance is a newer brand. I think they started production in fall of 2019 with their Paradigm. We did check out the Paradigm floor plans, which are just a fifth wheeler.
Too.
They're not toy haulers. They're just a fifth wheel, but they did take a lot of time to listen, because everybody at Alliance came from other brands. They've been in the RV industry for years. So you can tell when you walk through their units that they listened to what customers have been saying over the years, and they tried to put as much of that into their units as possible. This year, brand new to the Alliance brand,
they had 4 new toy haulers.
So toy haulers is new to their line. Before they were just fifth wheels, and now they have toy haulers. Their toy hauler brand is Valor, and we were lucky enough to get a walkthrough of their, I don't know, premiere layout maybe is the right word. It is a side patio toy hauler, and Jeremiah Dumka, their general manager, was kind enough to do a walkthrough with us. We're here with Jeremiah Dumka, the GM for Alliance Paradigm and their new Valor toy hauler brand. So we'll show you some bits and pieces of that video. Also, we will link up there, I think, the video that we did with him, so you can check out the whole thing. We also walked through, Keystone has a new floor plan that's called Arcadia. And they had one floor plan there at the show, and they had a prototype there at the show. So we walked through those and took some footage. Again, we'll have a link for the videos we did.
When they come out. They haven't come out yet. We haven't got all those videos out yet.
Okay, so when they come out, he'll add a link so you can check those out. But that was a new brand for Keystone. And
they boosted that one up on the internet, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So they really had a pretty good showing there on that camper.
And they had some cool features on that brand. So I liked that one a lot. Again, not a toy hauler, but I was intrigued by the one floor plan. Spoiler alert, it has a California king, not just a king, not just a camper king, but it's a fifth wheel with a California king.
So you know we love the big east-west bed.
That's a big deal.
With the big king size. So is this the one we would switch to?
It was pretty cool. We even walked through a Class A, which is not really our thing. But
I'm not that classy.
It's always cool just to check them out. They're so pretty on the outside. They're so pretty on the inside. So we did, go in and check them out.
We will tell you we didn't get that one.
Yeah, that's not in the cards, at least not for a few years anyway. We checked out, I think it was called a Jumpin' Jack. So cool little utility trailer toy hauler. Again, not something we went with, but I thought it was a really cool product. So you walk up and it looks like a utility trailer, and you can put your side-by-sides or four-wheelers or whatever you've got on top.
It's something I would like to have, pull behind the truck, and we can go boondock and go out west and ride
yeah, it would be really great
and
for the guys out west.
Yeah.
So once you get there, you take your toys off the top, the trailer opens up, and it literally just pops up into a tent. No real assembly, just unlatch and pop. And there's a huge tent that folds out over the edges. So you're up off the ground. So you're not in a tent that's on the ground that, water's going to be an issue.
So if you really wanted to boondock, that looks like a neat idea.
Really neat product. They're based out of Utah. So we're also going to do a video on that. And once that comes out, we'll put a link to that. What else did we look at? Oh, we went and checked out the Grand Designs because we heard they had a couple new floor plans.
But they didn't have the two we really wanted to see.
They didn't have them there. But we did check them out, and we are still looking online to see if, they're coming out soon. And last but not least, maybe,
we did look at something that was similar to a toy hauler, but not a toy hauler.
Oh,
you almost forgot.
Durango
Gold.
Durango has a new floor plan. It is a fifth wheel, and it's a mid-bunk. But then the back living area, that back wall that typically is like maybe your entertainment center or a big window that looks out the back wall folds down and it has a patio. So not a toy hauler.
But we love our patio. We're on it all the time.
However, if you like the idea of a toy hauler because you like a patio, but you don't really have toys and you don't have a need for the toy hauler,
you need to check that one out.
Cool floor plan to check out because it's a fifth wheel with a bunk and it has a patio. So plus just think of all the extra sunshine you get coming in that back patio. So behind your two recliners, it's just open. There's sliding glass door.
We think more fifth wheel manufacturers need to do that. It looks like it'd be super easy to do. You just cut a hole in the back and you put a door out there, and all of them, the Solitudes, the Keystones, the Montanas, all of them look like they could put a patio on the back and
I don't think anybody else is doing it yet. So maybe that's something that we'll see, coming in the future as more brands doing that. But I thought it was a really cool feature. And then last, but certainly not least, we had to go check out the Fuzion booth because Fuzion has a new floor plan that I had only seen online and I had to see it in person. It's a 428.
Wait a minute, before you tell them whether or not we did that one, or we didn't do that one, we did a tour with somebody.
Oh, we did.
If you know who Matt's RV reviews are, we got a special
We stopped in to meet Matt. He had a tent, he had a booth, and we stopped in to meet him, and he was gracious enough.
We're starting in 3, 2, 1.
to do an RV tour of a Super C with us. Again, not something that I think we're really...
I do like the Super C though.
But I don't think we're there yet. It's not something we're ready to head into at this point.
I'm ready, I think. If I can find a nice toy hauler section of the Super C.
Okay.
I like the Super C.
And the Super C we toured was actually a bunkhouse, which I do think is really neat because it seems like a lot of the Class A, B, C, Super Cs are finally starting to come around and offer bunks. But for a long time, I feel like they were taking families out of, you know, their market because they didn't offer anything for the people that needed a bunkhouse. So this, of course, had the bed over the driver's, you know, seating area, and it had 2 bunks. So
it was neat layout. It's not for us because it had bunks, and we don't need bunks.
I don't need bunks, but it was a cool layout.
A very nice layout, and we got to walk around with Matt.
And I think the price point was only like $158,000, which for a Super C is pretty cheap. So anyway, you can check that out. We do have that video, so check out the link above. And then let's get to the Fusion. Let's get to the Fusion 428.
I think she's kind of excited about it, so it may be the one we got.
I really like... Okay, so here's my thing with my Fusion. I love my Fusion. I love the toy hauler. I love the garage. I love the patio. What I don't love is if and when our kids do join us, because our kids are grown, so they don't go all the time. If we're going somewhere, like say we're leaving Virginia and headed to the Keys, and we're just doing a couple of one-night stays along the way, in order for them to have a place to sleep...
They have to sleep on the couch.
They either have to sleep on the couch in here.
Doesn't bother me any. I got a nice comfortable
bed. And it doesn't
bed.
seem to bother them, but it's either they have to sleep on the couch or we have to unload the golf cart, the kayaks, whatever we're traveling with, just to bring the bed down for one night for them to sleep. So the 428 has the sofa like we have in the 427 and a smaller sofa that has a fold-out bed in the living room. So when you stop for those one-night trips, you don't have to worry about unloading the toys because there's a bed in the living room for them to sleep on. That's a huge selling point for me. Plus, the way this living area is laid out, you have a huge open area here in the center. Like, it's huge.
But we lose our island.
You do lose the island, and that's why I needed to see it in person. You do lose the island.
You lose a lot of counter space.
And you lose some cabinets and some drawer space. However, you do gain a full-size pantry, which in our current Fusion we do not have. So I wanted to check it out in person and see, does the pantry gain you enough space to warrant what you're going to lose, keeping in mind you gain that sofa, that sleeper sofa. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I feel like it's a fair trade. And I feel like it's a trade worth making. And their outside kitchen has changed a little bit. So our outside kitchen has a TV, a small fridge, and then just 2 shelves that you can store stuff on, which means we're all the time hauling in the garage, taking up more space.
Our grill type
our
of stuff.
Razor Pro griddle, which doesn't take up a lot of room, but it does take up space.
When you only have 13 feet, anything takes up more room.
As you know, space is at a premium when you're in an RV, so anything you can do to gain more space. So in the new kitchen, on the 428, the outside kitchen, they do still have the small fridge. They do still have the TV. There is a shelf. The shelves are all
like a
metal instead of wood, so you don't have to worry about the water so much. Because
ours gets wet a little bit when you have the...
Yeah, that has been something we have fought with. And it has a slide out... It's not a
griddle.
Blackstone,
It's just
but the griddle. A slide out cooking griddle. So it's not as big as the one we have, but for the 2 of us it would be fine. And it'd be one less thing we had to haul around with us. So pretty excited about that too. So we're going to share some of our footage with you and let you decide what, if anything, we traded our Fusion for. As we leave today, the question is, did we stay or did we go?
Who knows?
So let's see what's behind us.
Suspense.
After all the options we saw,
All the options.
we decided to stick, for now anyway, with the 427. That doesn't mean there won't be a 428 in our future somewhere down the line, or that by the time we're ready to trade, they won't have a new floor plan that we like even better than the 428. But we hope you enjoyed sharing with us
the sights and sounds
of the 2021 RV Super Show in Tampa, Florida.
So make sure you guys subscribe to our channel for more videos coming out soon. And ring the bell so you'll know when our next video comes out, because you don't want to miss these. They're getting better and better, I hope.
And we do have lots of tours that we're going to put on here, lots of floor plans that we checked out while we're there. So if there's a fifth wheel, we even did a travel trailer tour. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. We are going to put those, as we get them done, we'll insert links for them and you can check them out.
And until the next time you find us camping.
Safe travels, everyone.